Today on Warrior Update, Waubonsee changes its look, a golfer celebrates a special occasion, and freshmen take over the auditorium. It's Friday, September 16th. I'm Jacob Woodham, and this is Warrior Update. A military member surprised his brother earlier this month. Liam Smith reports.
Nick Colbert celebrated his senior night earlier this month. However, Nick got an additional surprise when his brother, who's enlisted in the Marines, showed up on the sideline.
Well, this kind of started earlier that day, and then after school we went to the football field and we were checking names for who was going to be announced as we were walking down, and it was only my mom on the list. So I was and the guy kind of stood there for a little bit and was waiting for me to say another name, but I didn't have another name, so I was just that's a little weird. So I went home and I came back, and then we got ready for the game, and I was just kind of was thinking to myself, wouldn't it be cool if my brother showed up? And then it just kind of happened. So I mean, I was kind of me and my mom were walking, and then heard my mom's name, and then it went into a long spiel. That totally lost my mind, and I just saw my brother, and it was just crazy.
The two have a tight relationship, which made it even more difficult for Nick when his brother left.
Super close. Everything together, me and him. So when he left, it was kind of hard on me. And then, I talked to him every day. I was just excited. I remember I was just super happy. It was like a shock. It was disbelief. It was just so surreal. It was just me and him. I lost track of football, friends, everything like that.
For Warrior Update, I'm Liam Smith.
Waubonsee Valley is looking to change some of its imagery. Warrior Update has more.
Last year, a group of students and staff formed a committee to look at the current Native American imagery at Waubonsee Valley and what the future may look like for the high school. One example of that collaboration is an exhibit at the auditorium and athletics entrance.
When I first came here, I wasn't so focused on all this imagery has to change, even though there was a lot of imagery in this building. But it was that one student, Natalie Freitag, when they were doing a government project and just said, have we ever considered this? When I got into a conversation with the Potawatomi Historical Center in Oklahoma, the person looked at our imagery. He said, look, in a perfect world, we could really talk about changing the name and doing all this stuff, but I know that's not realistic. But at least you owe it to yourself to tell your students the accurate story of what the people your school's named after dress like, live their lives like, and that really, as a former history teacher, that really spoke to me. Our focus this year was two-pronged, acknowledge and educate. We wanted to use this year without really changing anything, but we just wanted to acknowledge that the land our school was on is on this Potawatomi land. And then we wanted to start educating our students. And then next year, let's start figuring out what do we want some of these images to look like, and that's where I think we're headed now. At the end of the day, I think the people I talked with that were directly connected to this said, if you're verbalizing and showcasing us as being people of high respect and dignified and connected and sticking to that history, that's what's important. I think this was a good opportunity to kind of do that in a way and also celebrate that part of our history so it continues on for other generations.
For Warrior Update, I'm Zach Hennigan.
A junior golfer shared a special moment with teammates last month. Tyler Vasquez and Mason Cousins have more.
I'm Chris Wagner. I play golf for the Waubonsee Valley Warriors. So the 12th hole, it was a 165-yard par 3 at Blackberry Oaks. We were a bit into the wind. There's a lot of hazard. There's some water left, so I had a green and long. I hit a 9-iron there, a bit into the wind. I hit a pretty good shot. It was pretty good. Hit a little behind the hole, and it spun back on me. And me and my teammates saw the ball disappear. I started jogging up a little bit. Some of my teammates didn't think it went in. I started jogging up. I got closer. Looked in the hole. It was in there, and I just started screaming and celebrating with all my teammates.
Oh my God! Oh my God! Yes!
Yeah, the hole-in-one, it was crazy. It was in a scramble with all my friends, so like I got to celebrate with my teammates too, which is the best part. I remember pulling the ball out of the hole, like all of my friends were all jumping on top of each other, freaking out. It was a really good experience. Went to the next tee box and I called my dad and I'm like, Dad, I just hit a hole-in-one. He's like, there's no way. I'm like, yeah, I just did. He's been playing golf since he was 3 years old, so he's been playing 50 years of his life and he's never had a hole-in-one. So he was happy for me, but he was a bit jealous at the same time.
How long have you been playing golf?
I've been playing since I was 5 years old. So I was the first person to hit a hole-in-one on that specific hole this year. So I was congratulated with a plaque in the clubhouse. So if you went into the clubhouse, it would say Chris Wagner hole-in-one on the date and stuff. So that's really cool as well.
And now, a word from our sponsors.
Let's roll it.
Freshmen take over the auditorium this weekend. Delilah Schreiber has more.
The class of 2026 will perform on stage this weekend in the play called The Other Side of the Story, Fairy Tales with a Twist. The performance gives students the chance to act in a freshman-only style play on the high school stage before the fall play and spring musical seasons. The Other Side of the Story presents fairy tales from the side of some unlikely characters. Get The Other Side of the Story on Saturday, September 17th at 7 p.m. in the WV Auditorium. For Warrior Update, I'm Delilah Schreiber.
That's all for Warrior Update. I'm Jacob Woodham. Thanks for watching. A junior golfer shared a special moment at Mr. Sims. A military member surprised his brother earlier this month. What's good, Shiloh? Today on Warrior Update, Waubonsie changes its look. Changes its look. That's like a tongue twister.